What's going on, YouTubers? Thought I'd do a video on my way home and talk about politics. Talk about the government. Talk about the shutdown. Talk about the border wall. Guys, this is beyond reasonable, rational, common sense. Let's meet halfway in the middle and figure this out between Democrats and Republicans. This is way beyond that point. There's a whole lot of agenda going on, whole lot of, some of you may want to refer to as conspiracy theories, but it's just more, it's beyond just the wall itself. We're talking about politics for the next election. We're talking about campaigns. If Trump gets his way, the Democrats know that he will use this in the next election, saying, see, I told you I was going to get it done. I got it done. No one else has been able to do it. He wants to have that legacy where he can come up with these 10 things I did that no other president has done. And you will not get that again in the next election unless you vote for me. The Democrats know he's going to play that card through and through, hands down all the way. And so they're refusing. It's not even about the people, right? Because I really think that if they wanted to play that card, if they wanted to reverse this situation on Trump and play him, they could easily come and just play the victim, right? And say, look, guys, we did our best to hold out. We're here to serve the people of the United States. We're here to serve our voters. We're here to serve all the people who voted, that support us here in office, right? They don't give a damn about you and I. They could easily say, play the victim card and say, we're going to go ahead and give them to Trump because we do not want to see American citizens, workers, the government workers, not get paid. We care about you guys too much for that. They could play that card, right, for their next campaign. But they're so strong-headed, they're so adamant of winning, they're so, neither one of these guys, neither Trump or Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer, neither one of them have a stake in the game. They have nothing to lose and only to gain by holding out. I bet you, and I guarantee you, if the shutdown applied to both Trump and Nancy and Chuck Schumer in some financial capacity, and not that Trump doesn't have his own money, and not that the others don't have some money, some side deals, but I bet you start hitting their pocketbooks, I bet you they give in real quick. But again, it's easy to go to Las Vegas and gamble other people's money, right? Because you don't care. Shit, put $10,000 down, no problem. Put $5,000 here, $5,000 there. Hell, go ahead and borrow $20,000. You don't have to pay it back. You can gamble with people's lives, their emotions, their financial and hardship times, if you have no stake in the game. Think about that. This is way beyond being reasonable, being rational. I think about all the times that they could have met halfway, and now they're at the point, they're both, and I say Chuck, Nancy, and Trump, they're both beyond the point of stupid at this point. They're both beyond the point of being reasonable with each other. They don't care about the little guy, the American one. They're adamant in their mission, their goal, their war. They are going to win it at all costs, period. And what's going to happen is you're going to have a lot of people pissed at both sides. That I think it's going to backfire. It's going to bite them both in the ass, both parties. And I've said it before. You think about all the different solutions, that ideas people have, you, me, I, other people, and you think about how they could have just said, you know what, Trump's in office for 2 more years. Let's go ahead and give him the 5.7 that he's asking for, with stipulation, you can use it to the wall, not a problem. But we're going to pay it out over a 2-year period. In 2 years, this guy may not even be elected again. What happens to all the city the city contractors that pick up the city contracts, or the state or the county to work on roads? What happens is the city, the county, the state, they will take the lowest bid out there, right? They will take the lowest bid offer who will do the job. And guess what happens? They'll seek out 3 or 5 different companies, and the one that scams the most will say, oh, we'll do it for X number of dollars. And the city, county, or state will say, oh my God, these other guys want $50,000, $60,000, but this company said he'll do it for half of that. He'll do it for 25. Why do you think he'll do it for so cheap? Because he knows once he gets that contract, that deal is locked and sealed. It's ready to go. They will not back out. They will not say, you're fired, we're going to get another contractor in there. What they'll do is they'll come back and say, oh, you know what, we need another $20,000, $30,000. Oh, we need another $15,000. And before you know it, the city, county, or state ends up paying what the original bidder, the other bidders were, saying this job is going to be, you know, $60,000, $80,000. I know it's a small number. I'm just using fictitious numbers. They end up paying the same, if not more, had they gone and said, look, this is a fair deal. This is what it's going to cost money. Yes, we want the better deal, but this is what it's going to come to. Now these guys could say, hey, you know what? Trump's out for Trump's term is over. We don't have enough money. Guess what? We won't throw any more money at the wall. Whatever was put up with the money we gave Trump and the administration, it is what it is. If it's halfway on, at least both sides win, right? People that voted for Trump that wanted the wall, they'll get some of that wall up, right? It may not be finished, but they'll get more than what's there, right? The Democrats won't have to deal with him next year, won't have to throw any more money at it. They got the government to open up again. It's a win-win for all. Makes sense, right? Common sense. Politics don't work like that. They don't care about common sense or what's rational. And if you've been around government long enough, like some people, you know that that's how they play it. That's how they play it. And you sit there and you're like, man, this doesn't make sense. Why do they do things this way? That's just the way they work. That's just the mindset of the government. And for those government workers, I guarantee you, those that end up getting out of it because they're laid off, fired, or they just say that, you know what, the hell with that job. I bet you anything that they'll think twice about going and working for the government again. Even the FBI people are going to be hurt because that funding comes from that shutdown. And they're talking about less TSA workers at the airport. That means the lines are moving faster, which should tell you that maybe they should contract that out. Maybe they have too many government workers doing jobs that could be privatized to private corporations, right? And then the government doesn't have to fund those positions, right? Maybe, you know, the thing with the private sector is they always find a better, faster, smarter way to do business, right? Once you get government involved and they get their hands involved in politics and red tape, they just screw the whole process up. Trust me, they do that all the time. Something that should not be so complicated, they screw it up. If it's housing, if it's a building authority, like you have to get city contracts before you can build a building in the city, you want to do add-ons to your house or whatever, the city gets involved, they screw the whole goddamn thing up. Because they want to, it's checks and balance. In order to have checks and balance, guess what? You have to create positions. You have to create positions that create other positions because everybody has to check and balance each other, right? There's always a need. There's always a department. Oh, well, we need this. Well, if we're going to do that, then we need this, and so forth. That's the way government works. And we're seeing it on a big scale. So maybe this is the shit hits the fan that we all need to kind of cleanse this whole system. And maybe Trump has a trick up his sleeve he's not revealing to us. I'd be surprised if he comes up and says, hey, you know what? This was planned the whole time, and it turns out to be a good thing. And they're going to have a lot of people surprised that Trump pulled this off. There's the bigger picture, guys. We just don't see it. So sit back and enjoy the show because it's about to get hot.